Hey, Awesomes. All right, so we're back talking about the course, kind of a course overview. In the previous video, we talked a little bit about the syllabus, talked a little bit about the course reading, and a little bit about the theme. Tried to go into just a little bit more details, but I also wanted to share with you kind of our page set up here on Blackboard. We click on the home page. This is what it brings you to. Of course, obviously the announcements. Obviously, you'll find the syllabus on the Spring 2022 syllabus tab, and it links you to the Google Doc of our syllabus. And I keep it on a Google Doc this semester in case we need to make any changes to our schedule or changes to assignments or whatever. I'll keep putting those together. Obviously, the week one reading, as we looked at, which is see how to engage constructively in courses taking a critical social justice approach. And as I said, make sure that you read this. There's some very, very key pieces of information, which we will tease out next week, more specifically over the weekend a little bit. But make sure that you do pay attention to that. And of course, I have added week one videos since the last video that you saw, right? So you'll see this is new. And then it will have, obviously, the course overview video part one. And of course, I've got, will be course overview video part two, I think. And then, of course, you guys don't see some of these on here. But if you have grades eventually, but we're not doing any Collaborate at this moment or anything like that. But I do want to go back to the syllabus because I feel like I rushed it there at the end of the last video. The main thing to kind of be thinking about is so that about every 4 weeks or so, right, there will be 2 weeks where we will be giving presentations. That's just about how long it's going to take to get, I think, everybody through the presentation, right? And to have question and answer, and to foster conversation and engagement. So the presentations, right? Your public speaking aspect of this class. So on a Tuesday and Thursday, and the following Tuesday and Thursday, we have a couple of weeks where we're going to be giving presentations. We just start with whoever the first person is. It'll be chosen randomly, or we could do signups if you prefer. You give your presentation, and that presentation, there are these presentation questions, and that will mean something when you read the reading. When it talks about questions, we want to look for these open-ended type questions to foster more engagement in the topic, as opposed to yes or no questions, because we want to challenge our own preconceived notions or ideas, which we'll find out that a lot of them are opinions, right, as opposed to well-informed, informed knowledge, as you'll read about in this chapter 1. Engaging in a course constructively as we look at injustices, social injustices more particular. And as you go through your informative speech, your persuasive speech, and your invitational speech, your speeches will be, you will choose, pick, determine, whatever, an aspect within social justices, the social justices category, a particular social injustice that you feel is taking place that you want to know more about, that you can then inform your fellow students about. And then we will have good class discussion. So part of your informative speech will be to give a speech, and then also to have a few questions. And those questions will come from your fellow classmates when you're giving your speech. And then the obverse of that will happen when it's someone else's speech. You and your fellow classmates will then be providing the questions, and that will be the class participation points, and we'll talk about those details probably more next week as far as how we'll manage those things. And there'll be a few reading quizzes, but that's the meat and potatoes of the course, really, if you will, is to understand the speech aspects. So a lot of the quote-unquote grading that will take place in the class will be done live as you deliver your speeches in class, and then take questions from your fellow classmates and provide answers, not necessarily answers more so in the respect of fostering a continuing conversation about your topic. Okay. All right. So we'll talk about more about what that means, but you'll get an idea of the different kinds of social justices, or more specifically social injustices, that we're talking about through reading chapter 1.